$5,000 per customer. I'm going to tell you my strategy on how I can get an average of $5,000 per customer. Now, this is not a quick, like, this is going to happen overnight. There is a process to it. So make sure that you save this video to come back to reference when you're feeling like you're stuck, when you're feeling discouraged, when you're feeling like you don't remember the steps I told you in this video. So again, make sure you save this video for later. Okay, so this is how it all started. When I first started coaching on social media, I randomly just put out anything I could possibly think of to provide value to an audience. And the audience that I was focusing at the time, which I really didn't know, like, okay, well, I should be talking to a specific person. I should just be like really nailing down exactly what I'm going to be selling them. Like, what is the end goal? I didn't really have a clear picture on that. And that's where I kind of messed up. And it really held me back for like a year and a half for getting my first sale, like my first sale in coaching. At the time, I was definitely stuck. So let me definitely ramp it up so you don't have to go through that initial process at all. All right, so when I started essentially shifting the way I was doing things and I became more intentional with my content, did I start really seeing results? And it was super quick. I thought I had to sell a low ticket item. And so I was spending that whole year and a half really focusing on like, okay, what am I going to sell them that's low ticket? You know, how can I get their email address? How can I build all these funnels? How can I build all these processes? What do I do? And it was a question of overthinking it. And really, it didn't come from any of the ways I just told you at all. It really just came from just putting out good quality content and then having people reach out to me. So that's exactly what happened. When I started focusing my content on the stuff that I really wanted to learn and I was really passionate about, at the time I was talking a lot about mindset. Even though it wasn't from mindset coaching was I making money, I was making connections, which helped. So, you know, even if your content is not fully focused on a specific thing right now, you can still provide value to your audience by just showing up and just talk about subjects that you're really passionate about. Of course, this isn't going to be a way that you're going to essentially make money. You can find avenues to offshoot this, but let me tell you how you can basically make the next step, the next jump, and you don't have to go through that first initial jump, okay? That first initial hurdle of, you know, just kind of just putting content out there. Now, it is necessary to practice on camera, so you can do this on lives nowadays, which I highly recommend, but I'll make another whole video on that. Just make sure you put in the comments that you want me to go more into live streams and why they're so important. Okay, so when I started focusing more on exactly the steps that I would want to learn to grow my business on social media, did I really start formulating a plan. So at the time, I was already involved. I think I already took like 6 courses on building social media, and I've already started to see some engagement, some results, but nothing that made me money. Again, I was putting out random content. I really didn't know the direction. I had different things on different pages, testing different things, but not really testing really things. Like, I wasn't looking at the engagement rate. I wasn't really looking at the reports. I really didn't spend the time to understand them. Again, all stuff that I neglected that I wish that you not neglect. And if you want to learn more in-depth stuff, definitely check out my link in my bio. I have programs that's going to definitely help you get over a lot of hurdles, you know, step by step. But in this particular case, when I'm talking about content, you're going to focus on one specific subject. And this subject is basically going to be like 95% of your content. That's all you're going to be talking about. So make sure it's something that you're very passionate about teaching others, but also learning for yourself to get better at it. So my first big sale was $3,000, and this $3,000 came from my knowledge in how to not only build on social media, which it really didn't focus much on building in social media. It really focused on just putting out a nice profile on social media, meaning that, you know, the content that you just stick on there was very industry specific, and then using it more as like a landing page and messaging people from that page as a brand or as a business, and then bringing in clients. So that's what I was essentially pitching. That's what I was essentially telling others that I was doing, that I was setting up. And I was just talking about the process. I was just talking about, I was taking these classes, and I was in a mastermind, and I was traveling in this mastermind, and I was just like going along my journey basically on how I was, learning these things. I was implementing it for my mindset stuff, my meditation stuff, which I thought was going to be my main focus. It was the overcoming hurdles in your life, because I was coming up to that. I was getting through that at that time. So I was like, I'm very passionate about it because, I was going through these hurdles, but I'm very passionate about business too, and growing businesses and scaling them and selling them, because that's what I've done my whole career. And so, and that's what made me the most money. I have done a lot of real estate too, but that, again, another subject for another day. So with that said, I was very passionate to talk a lot more about business instead of so much more mindset. So I decided, instead of trying to figure out what I was going to do with the whole mindset thing and how I was going to monetize that and grow it, I was going to focus more on the business aspect, especially around social media growth and how to get high-paying clients through that, because that's what I was learning. And so providing that free value of exactly what I was learning at the time through my mastermind, which was an investment. At the time, I think I spent $3,000 with one coach, and I spent at that time another, between 5 other coaches, about $500 to $600 each a coach. Now these were low ticket entry courses, but I just didn't align with exactly the person until I spent more money and got into this more mid-level mastermind, which was $3,000 at the time, and this was a number of years ago now. So that's when I first made my $3,000 sale, and it was really simple. The person reached out to me, they were watching me for a while, they seen that I was doing mindset stuff, which they were interested in the mindset stuff. They got inspired to follow me through the mindset stuff, but they really took action when they saw that it was something that they wanted to learn. Okay, so that is where you got to understand, just because you have an audience, you might not have the product that can fit the audience. And I'm going to go over this in another video, but make sure, again, you message me here in the comments and see, if you want to know more about that, how do you make more content that fits your audience, and I can dive deeper into that. But I am going to split this into another video. So the second video is going to go into, okay, that was $3,000. Now, how did I, sell this client another $1,600, and he's already wanting to invest another $1,600 currently. So not only is this client particularly one of my highest paying clients to date at this moment, but he's also consistently buying high ticket items from me. Now I have other people that are buying items regularly from me, and like I said, my average is about $5,000 to $6,000 a client, but it's usually not where it's this consistent with this type of recurring income. Usually it'll be they buy something and then they'll maybe buy something about the same price range. But what I'm realizing, if it comes on as a high ticket, if the person comes on as a high ticket, they'll continue to be a high ticket client. So let me go ahead and make a part 2 on how do you convert more sales from the same person, even in the high ticket space. And that'll be on part 2.